another episode of Random Fuck Ass Shit with our Uncle Slade. Woo! Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Random Incoherent Ramblings with old Uncle Slade, otherwise known as Vital Social Issues and Stuff of Pastor fucking Slade. So, yeah, fucking A, guys. Let me consult my notes and get my coffee regarding what the fuck the topic is of this day. Anyway, guys, how's it going? God bless. I hope everything is fuck yeah with your soul. If you're bored as fuck of my content, I wouldn't blame you. This is all just shit for me to remember my life. My family and I never took pictures growing up. Like, there's no pictures of my mother and stuff. Even, like, what kind of fucking family, what kind of person doesn't even, like, ever have family albums, photographs of they mama and stuff? So, yeah, let me get some coffee creamer. Where the heck is my, anyway, so, alright, so the topic of this video is basically why poor people shouldn't have fucking kids and should be all genocided. It should just fucking stop breeding and fucking commit suicide. Yeah, I'm really not that nihilistic, guys. I kind of use satire to convey a point that the world isn't geared toward your best interest, that I'm trying to red pill some motherfuckers about how, if you're a male, if you own a dick, and especially if you're give or take 30 years old, if you ain't exuding some pimp-ass materialism, if you're not a high-rising taxpayer, if you're not a materialistic, sociopathic douchebag, go-getter, stepping on toes to get ahead, you know, trying to thrive and contrive in this life, then you are expected to just fucking die. Nobody wants Lazarus, the leper beggar from the Bible, digging out of their fucking trash. There's no such thing as humanitarianism in a fucking capitalistic society, even though I am a capitalist. And this is just kind of a morbid reminder, guys, especially if you're young. Get your shit together, because nobody's going to stop and give a fuck about you. If you fall by the wayside or bend down to tie your shoes, life and society is just going to keep on fucking going, and you're going to get attacked by a fucking bear or something. And nobody's gonna fucking care. So, yeah, you know, I consider myself a libertarian Christian, but I'm supposedly extremely subversive, and I'd be annexed from modern day fucking conservative Christianity and stuff like that. So let me give you a backdrop. I have this uncle, let's call him Uncle Darn. I always use fake names to protect the innocent. And we fucking fight like cats and dogs about, I don't know, philosophy, ideology. He's an extreme bleeding heart liberal, man. And I don't know, I don't fucking get it, dude. I really think that a lot of white people nowadays are placating to some cuck shit. They're on some cuck shit, trying to be as fucking liberal as possible. And liberalism is way different now, circa 2019, than it was like in JFK's day. And if you guys don't know, like right now there's a huge left or right, like fucking cold civil war between, like, you know, Trump supporters and fucking Obama or Bernie Sanders supporters. And in case you guys don't know, it's not the Republicans that are racist, guys. During the Civil War era, the radical Republicans were actually the ones that wanted to absolutely free, for example, the blacks, give them all the ability to vote and all this other stuff. It was the Democrats that wanted to inhibit black rights and stuff like that, which is synonymous with racism nowadays because we're so multifaceted. It's just not black and white here anymore. It's obvious that the Democrat South, they were too lazy to pick their own cotton after the slaves got free. So they wanted to have a socialistic society, but they didn't want black people to be eligible for benefits. They only wanted white people to be eligible for those benefits. It's fucking obvious. So my Uncle Darn, he doesn't make sense because he has the most right-wing kind of religion, and he's extremely, one of those modern-day Christians that are pro-Israel, and you better let me have my guns and stuff. But then he's like extremely bleeding heart liberal, and it doesn't make sense. And if you guys are down with modern vernacular, I try to clown pill him. Like, well, you'd be supporting Trump if you really believed in that pro-Israel stuff, if you really thought it was God's will. So he was getting on my ass because I believe in that, if you have sex with a woman, it's for pleasure. It's not necessarily just for procreation, like how I believe the Catholic or Orthodox Church believes. And so anyway, what I was getting at with this video is, growing up, sticking to my rock and roll ways, I was pretty much banished from my family, and it took many years before they would see that I actually gave a shit about being productive to start softening their heart toward me. They really thought I was just for the way I looked and the way I sound and the way that I always, they wanted me to play baseball, but I wanted to wrestle. They wanted me to get a flat top haircut. I always wanted to have a shaggy kind of long hair, heavy metal appearance. So they just assumed because fucking, God damn it, I hate trolling Christians, man. But especially back in the 1980s, if you weren't some high and tight, clean cut, very reserved person, they just expected the fucking worst of you. So, I guess that's my excuse that I was dirt poor on my mom and dad's side anyway, but I was never taught any trade. I am not a handy person. I am your typical millennial that, there's memes that make fun of millennials, they can't even start a lawnmower, how they're going to start a revolution, they can't drive stick shift or some shit. Yeah, man, I'm a city slicking Yankee that's lived in an apartment my whole life and never had a garage full of tools. I wasn't taught shit. My parents would just come home every day, tell me how much of a piece of shit I was. Any questions I ask, don't bug me, go ask your teacher. Hey, we do have a family trade that doesn't make a lot of money. I asked my pop to teach me that. He's like, go fucking learn it in school. I work too much all day. Go fuck off. So basically, I'm an unskilled, uneducated, even though I did somehow eke out a high school diploma. I'm an uneducated person, and I don't have any trade, and I didn't contribute to making my last name great. So I, as a capitalist, don't believe I should procreate. I mean, what the fuck is it oh, hey, man, hey, I fucking shit out some kids, government, you better fucking take care of them, or else I'm gonna fucking riot or some shit along with my other minority colleagues. Fuck, I'm gonna get demonetized or some shit, right? This is some subversive ass shit. Look, I understand mistakes happen, and I don't mean to be so harsh. I understand people are gonna fucking mate and procreate any fucking way. But, I mean, I just believe for myself, that kid is not going to have a good life. You know what I mean? I struggled to survive. I could barely take care of myself. How the fuck am I just going to I aspire to have a kid. Hey, fucking government, you better fucking take care of that shit. Because it's not natural, guys. Without in the whole course of history, if you didn't pay Caesar the taxes, if you couldn't do what the government wanted you to do, you get fucking crucified. You get fucking tortured to death. And, and your fucking wife and kids would be sold into slavery. So now, with the advent of a toaster, a fucking TV, a microwave, and a computer, we're oh, man, we're not barbaric no more. Oh, we're so civil. Let's just fucking shit out 1 billion kids and have the government fucking take care of it. Communism is bad for the same reason why kids want to leave their parents' house. I was watching this Joe Rogan podcast with this dude called Naval Ravikant, and he was saying something along the lines of like communism, it works for a small social group. Like, you want to be very communist and socialist toward your family members, right? Like, if you have kids, you're not going to favor one with more allowance than the other or some shit. You're going to evenly distribute shit. If you buy a kid a toy, you're going to probably buy the other kids a toy. You can't really show favoritism or partiality, right? But when you have so many motherfuckers crammed on the one country, and it becomes a barter state. Bartering means, like, you made a good point. Like, capitalism is the most natural thing in the world. Like, it goes back to probably like when we were all cavemen. Like, if some person knew how to start a fire, you'd be like, hey man, well, I killed a deer. Like, I'll give you some of this fucking deer meat if you let me fucking cook it on your fire. You know what I mean? Like, it's so obvious. So my Uncle Dave was like basically, you just want to like screw chicks and you never want to have a kid. That's a sin and stuff. Oh, fuck off with that shit, man. There's so many old-fashioned people. Like you guys ever heard about the boomer, the doomer, the zoomer, and all that kind of shit, things going on nowadays? Man, he's such a boomer. Like, he's so fucking oblivious to how the world has fucking changed. And it's been the same thing for fucking, the whole last century. Like, the trends, the times, the social situations, the information age, all this stuff catalyzes like every fucking 10 years. It's like the fucking generations are confronted with different problems, different dilemmas, different social standards. And then they're trying to fucking shit out Confucius-say fucking advice when they're so oblivious and like unwillful to acknowledge shit has fucking changed, man. And that's why I'm a fucking self-ordained pastor and shit. I'm like, yeah, don't worry, guys. I know your parents want you to be cucks. Just look up to Pastor fucking Slade. It's like a fucking joke, but not really. So what else was I fucking talking about? Yeah, man. Then I was on some shit today where I was pissed off because I'm a really disheveled, like, obviously fucking poor ass, poor ass fucking mess. And then I got some cop following me today. It's like, dude, don't you want to go harass somebody that can actually afford to pay a lot of tickets? Why do you want to ruin my life? I'm just so sick of people only favoritism, showing partiality and favoritism to, like, other people that are doing well in life. It's like the Apostle Paul said in the Bible. It's like, why do you prefer the rich? Like, why do you show so much favoritism to rich people? Those are the motherfuckers that make extraneous laws. Those are the motherfuckers that are going to take you to court and shit. Those are the motherfuckers that you owe money to. Those are the motherfuckers that are hitting up your fucking wife on private fucking Facebook Messenger or Twitter, showing them that they can go fornicate on a fucking yacht over by Catalina Island and shit, And then another thing I wanted to, say, I guess, was clown pilling fucking bleeding hearts and, basically taking advantage of people that believe in this bleeding heart shit. Look it, man, if the world was a perfect utopia, yeah, man, fuck yeah, dude, but it's a dog-eat-dog fucking world, and it's an axiom we're never gonna fucking change. I don't like it either, man. I'm libertarian, dude. We're not necessarily if you're like a left-winger and you hate Trump and shit, I don't really think you'd hate my politics. But, my Uncle Darn, he's a really good dude, and he's helped me out through the thick and thin and all this kind of shit. I don't want to take advantage of that. Like, we're butting heads so hard on philosophy, and it shouldn't interfere with a good relationship. And then I had a boss a long time ago that was a lot more lenient than some other boss and shit like that. And I want to work hard, but, I had discrepancies, like, fucked up, fuck, man, I can't finish my point. YouTube, for some reason, only allows 15 minutes. But anyway, guys, keep on rocking in the free world. Say, fuck yeah, up the irons. And the First and Second Amendment is, like, the most important thing to mankind next to the blood of Christ. Take care, guys.